Hello and welcome to the Roll4It Stars About Number Aftershow for episode 6.
5 million.
Has this seriously only been 6 shows?
Mm-hmm.
I feel as though
this
I
adventure...
should do these after shows in Sandeep's voice.
The show just, like, so much happens in every episode that it feels like we do it for months because everything goes wrong. Like, the first half of today's episode felt like it was, like, 7 hours. I was just like, fuck. Everything keeps going wrong.
Yeah, I was just
really
like,
that for the end of last episode as well.
I thought
I do
you'd
like
have
how
enough go
sort
wrong.
of as I finished reading The Martian like a couple of weeks back, and like this has just felt like that since we got trapped in space up till we finally all got inside the habitat thing, whatever we're in, conglomeration.
May I tangent for a second? In the book The Martian, which I never read, did they better handle the fact that you just can't farm, Mars soil because it's like super deadly to humans? Do they handle that? The fact that there's like nothing but toxins for like the first many layers of soil in Mars, at the
Maybe not
very
quite
least.
the toxins bit, but it was a little bit better done than the movie. I think everything was slightly more in depth.
Because it was one of those things where it's like, oh, that's cute. He made potatoes. Good thing if he ate them, he'd die. But, that's cool.
It was similar but with extra bits. It's a good book. You should read the book.
Similar but with extra bits.
So there was pain and then dying. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha. See, that now we're back on Stars Without Numbers. Pain and then dying.
Yeah.
I like it. Good
So
stuff.
what do people think of the people of Thor's town, Odin's town?
Ulysses likes them.
Delilah
I'm pretty
likes
scared
them.
of them.
They're
I think
simple.
at any moment they might just kill him for some reason.
Anything that Cooper doesn't like should automatically be liked by everyone else.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, Delilah likes them. They're simple people. She has a peasant background, so she likes simple people. It's something that she can correlate with. So, how's Stax feel about them?
Stack sees a group full of simpletons, and so it's easy to deal with, and so he's okay with it. He's like,
I like the idea that
They're
Stax
easy.
has to talk dumb. He has to let me dumb this down.
Yeah.
Stax, never mind.
It's like he can't come out and like, listen, you inbred, stupid, backworld motherfuckers. This is what I want. Like you gotta be diplomatic.
So, is anybody else thinking about running to the ship and dropping a nuke? Is it anybody else? Okay, Delilah can't think that because she doesn't know there's nukes. But is everybody else thinking about that?
I strongly considered proposing it and being like, we could just give them nukes and be like, there goes your deep swimmers. Just convert them into torpedoes real fast and be like, thunk, have fun annihilating your enemies.
I mean, that's an absolute possibility if the deep swimmer's base was far enough away. That is a 100% reasonable course of action because it's not like the atmosphere is safe anyway. The fallout may be a bit of an issue depending on how deep down they get their foods from. But,
The explosion's going to be suppressed because it's underwater. The atmospheric fallout would be suppressed too because it's underwater. It's not like it's not going to be up in the air, right? It's not going to be passed through the atmosphere.
Currents would then take it.
Nuke, but yeah.
Sea currents would then just take it everywhere, right?
Wait, I'm sorry, Bentham. What was that?
not quite.
Currents in the water.
Yeah, but it would also, it corrodes over time. It breaks down. Was it 35 years or whatever? And eventually it's no longer as radioactive.
That's why games like Fallout don't make sense, is because everything's all scorched and fucked up, but it's supposed to be 80 years later, and you would have complete environmental recovery after
you go back to Chernobyl now,
years.
and Chernobyls
Oh,
completely fine.
Yeah.
Plants really enjoy.
What was the name of the game with the
animal population's thriving because no one's
people
killing
there.
it.
The plants are this is fantastic. We need more nukes. It's kind of shitty for the first decade, but after that, it's amazing.
What was the name of the game with the guy? His name was Monkey, and he had the girl on his back, and he would climb through the post-apocalyptic city, and they would find parts to things. It was an Xbox game. May have been on other systems as well. Does not ring a bell. Damn it! I have to Google it. I'll find it. It was super cool because it was after it was post-apocalyptic, and everything was beautiful, just nature everywhere.
So you came across a lovely world that has no atmosphere, that's breathable when you needed air. Welcome to the random number generator.
I was so hopeful when you said ocean world. I'm it's gonna be okay. We can drink, we can breathe, we can fish, it's going to be wonderful. My main concern was that like it would be entirely ocean and we wouldn't be able to land anywhere, so I just have to hover slightly above the ground the whole time while
the ship
everyone
will
else
float.
fished off the edge of the hangar. I wasn't sure if something would go wrong if I tried that.
It's very hard to make something with air in its sink. Like, it's actually really, really hard to make something with air in its sink. You have to try very hard for that to happen. Your ship will definitely float.
Enslaved. None of you guys have played Enslaved?
Never heard of it.
Oh, really?
But yeah,
Pretty sure I didn't have an Xbox, so...
I can tell you all the random generated tags for this world. 900 people, settlement outpost, tech level 2, planet, invasive toxic atmosphere, warm temperate atmosphere, biosphere is hybrid, it's got Cyanix Academy, and a quarantine world.
I mean, it's if you could handle the problems on this planet, which they're varied and plentiful, if you can handle the problems on the planet, this actually could be a useful planet to be around consistently, especially for somebody like, say, Ulysses. And the Delilah is going to be very short-lived. Her wisdom's a 6, so she's going to unwisely use her powers, which will just make her dumber. And once her wisdom hits, I think, a 3 or a 2, she goes completely insane and needs to be put down like a rabid dog. So I mean, like,
so basically,
the Constitution reaches 3, is it that you die?
It's Constitution or Wisdom hits that, then you have the penalty. Sorry, my dog's barking.
So you either die or you become feral. And then once you're feral, you have infinite effort and can use psychic powers at any time. So it's a very good job that you have precognition and not.
Wow. You also
become I was gonna say,
a GM
that's
pet.
still dangerous.
So yeah, I look forward to that.
Literally, you guys keep me locked in a cell somewhere, and you're like, "All right,
you'll be the new
Delilah,
David.
Can you tell me what's happening next century?" And she's like, "The Red Sox will win the World Series. The Red Sox will win the World Series. All money on the Sox." So it's gonna happen.
No, we're asking for future predictions, not your dreams and aspirations.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think this seems likely.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, there are also reason for colonization, refueling outpost, government, tribal, society trait, hedonistic, society trait, warlike. Good fun.
Something like warlike heathen. Yeah. Cool. Is there any way? Because it sounded like they're the ones that caused the chlorine problems on this planet. That's what it sounded like the guy that described. Is there a way to fix that? Can you re-terraform it since they terra unformed it?
Terraforming is a tech level 5 thing, so...
So Bentham can do it because he's now a tech level 5 thing?
Excellent! Which is basically attach some string to Bentham and like some buoyancy tanks on the top and just like wedge his mouth open and just like fly him like a kite. Air goes in one end, comes pure out the other end.
Oh,
and if it doesn't work, at least try.
Toilet to fix the atmosphere, it's fine.
Bentham's farts will re-terraform this place.
Yeah.
It'll take a while, but it'll last forever.
So if you breathe like a
It'll be a nightmare existence. I'm still pretty sure that if I'm exposed to this atmosphere, my face will just start to melt.
It's not corrosive. People in chat were like,
"Oh,
it's corrosive atmosphere." I was like, no, it's just toxic. It's not corrosive.
Isn't chlorine alkaline anyways, not acidic?
You said that like vac suits would last like hours and ships would last days or something in it.
Yeah, how long
it's
it would take to
invasive
get
toxic. Yeah, it's invasive toxic, not corrosive.
Well, how is it invaded if we're in a pressure vessel?
Because the molecule's so small that your suit has to keep constantly flushing oxygen out because the particles keep getting in. Which is why your suit was going down in oxygen even when you were in it, because it was constantly flushing extra oxygen out with a positive pressure environment to try and force out the chlorine getting in.
What's that noise?
That's my daughter.
I was about to say screaming children.
That's my daughter playing with the dog.
But I kind of like these people. I mostly came up with everything on the fly. Like, I had some general ideas, and I was like, but, you know, GMing on the fly. That's what Starts With Numbers is all about, because I never know where you're going to go or what you're going to do.
Listen, I think you got me hooked on Deep Powder. I think you got, until I fail Deep Powder, I think she's going to keep liking it. Once I fail it, then that might be a different situation. But first, we have to see whether or not everybody dies. So, you know, that's a thing. I mean, we're about to enter into a combat, and I don't think Delilah's well equipped to handle this combat. So, I mean, it's funny because like
any of us are.
I don't even know what Delilah does. So
you know what she's good at? She's good at trading. when she trades, she has a 1 in trade. She's a +1 in charisma, and then she rolls 3d6 and drops the lowest while trading. And then I can also re-roll once per scene a non-combat skill. I wanted Splat to be there when Delilah came out to try to purchase pillows off of him and convince him to sell me the pillows at a cost that was beneficial to me because he owed me money for taking them. Like I wanted to like work circles around him because I'm so good at trading, but it just didn't work out that way. Instead, we just all died or almost died. It's kind of one of those like, I'll eat your leg. I'll give you a pillow for just like just your quads.
And what did we learn about trying to trick Stacks?
Well, I didn't actually try because we were too busy dying.
Yep.
By the time she came out of the pod, we were already
Karmic retribution, bro.
Yeah.
Stacks doesn't have to do anything. The universe looks out for Stacks.
The universe proactively punished you.
We flushed out Sandeep, and then we brought in somebody else that required food and air and whatnot, and things just went downhill really quickly. Oh God, I wish you were there last week, Splat, because you would have felt it was tense. Like it was an emotional session. It was a very emotional session.
I wish I had been there to tell people not to flush you out of the airlock with 50 grand in your pocket. That's what I wish I had been there for.
Well, I think that was because you hadn't found the 50 grand in your pocket yet, because you'd only discovered it after they'd flushed Sandeep, because no one had had a chance, because literally as soon as we started the session, Cooper was like, how dare Sandeep do this? And you hadn't discovered the 50 grand in your pocket yet. And that's why nobody knew.
I did bring up, does Stacks realize that he has credits on him? But he didn't.
Yeah, and I said, like, Stacks doesn't know right now because you literally have just gone, Sandeep tried to kill me, as literally everyone started appearing in the ship, so no one had a time to even check for credits or anything.
So not true. Anyway, Sandeep didn't try to kill you, man. It wasn't Sandeep.
No, Sandeep successfully killed him.
Well, that was my argument as well, of like, yeah, Sandeep didn't try and kill me, but the thing that he is like 90% made of tried to kill me, which is, like, funnily enough, connected to Sandeep.
Yeah. Well, upgrades, man. Them upgrades would have fixed problems, Them upgrades. It was funny. I put myself into a rebooting cycle, Splat, to like try to like fix all, like more or less to hit level 2. I put myself in like a 24-hour reboot cycle, and while I was rebooting, they were like, flush, but not the actual toilet. That would have been funnier. Like, okay, put Sandeep in the TL6 toilet. Let's see how.
Delilah, you get the first level on the precog tree, the core technique Oracle, and you have to torch to do this because you haven't got any training. So every time you do this, you will automatically torch. Because you can only do it with training, otherwise you torch. That's the way that all psychers work, sadly.
That's rather shit.
Well,
that's
unfortunately,
significantly less useful.
Yeah, it's literally the rules of the universe, in that you need training to not torch. Otherwise, everybody torches naturally, and that's why psychers who haven't been trained go insane, which is why they like to train psychers.
The annoying thing is that
I can see. And you said Oracle? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you get the core Oracle ability, which allows you to see into the future.
Oh, you mean just a day into the future? That's what you mean by core. I see it now.
Yeah.
Yep.
1 minute
I'm sorry. I thought you said TL. I thought you said level 1. But you meant level 0.
Sorry, level 0. But you will get level 1 if you can successfully use deep powder for a little bit longer, and you'll get tier 1. But for now, you just get tier 0.
Cool. Sounds good. I'm about to go insane.
Especially when you've actually, finished eating and are not starving anymore, so that you can actually properly learn psychic powers.
Cool.
The annoying thing is that I was wanting to make a character who was a psychic but only used his powers by torching, and I mentioned this to Ian. He probably put the deep powder in like as a way of making that possible. But then Cooper didn't have any, so I've missed out on the thing.
I'll be honest, I was literally making most of this up on the fly. I was like, hedonistic, okay, they need drugs. Cool, they have cocaine. Awesome. It's a psychic world. They have a Sonic Academy. They probably used this during the training. Okay, cool. On a crit. Oh, fuck, someone critted. Okay, you gained psychic powers. I was going to be on a pass. It was going to force Ulysses to use another discipline that he'd never done before. Or maybe teleport randomly. I was going to roll, and it'd be kind of funny. Ulysses suddenly outside one of the hatches, like,
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, it would have been interesting.
I'm very
glad I didn't pass. Good times.
But in the end, it's like, oh, well, a mundane critted. Cool. Maybe you've secretly been a psyker all along.
I mean, I didn't want Cooper to be that character, one of my next ones, so it still works fine. Cooper's got other things he wants to do. And that don't involve him going insane and becoming feral and killing everyone.
Not in that way.
Are you gonna? Can you, I was gonna say like.
Wow, 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 wow.
Well, do you mean like find my old body? But I don't know where that is. Or do you mean
No, I
like
don't think
work
that's what
out
he
what
meant.
my new body is?
That one.
I think he meant you can borrow a few videos while you come to this discovery.
Oh dear. Oh
At some point, it's
my.
going to turn out that I've got like guns in my arms.
That'd be
That'd be
cool.
pretty cool.
Like
I'd
some
be
Well,
on
Full
most
Metal
people have
Alchemist
guns in their
kind of
arms.
stuff?
Yours are just. It's your strength score, mate. That's why you don't.
Ouch.
Man.
Oh,
He
sorry.
is particularly
Couldn't help
vicious today, I feel.
it. Couldn't help it.
that's nice.
Wait till you see the deep swimmers. Anyway, that's it for the after show. So hopefully you've enjoyed. If you have, awesome. We'll be back here next week.
Bye.
Roll safe.
Oh.